Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Games Done Quick hotfix on this splendid Sunday. It is good to be back with more PB Precipice. It has been too long, everyone. I hope you are all doing spectacularly, as I know you are. Some quick announcements before we get into things. AGDQ 2023 online will be January 8th to the 15th. Head to GamesDoneQuick.com for more info. Game submissions are closed, but you can tweet at GamesDoneQuick on Twitter and let us know what you're hoping to see on the schedule. What runs are you looking forward to getting into the marathon? And Fright Fatales is a one-day event on October 23rd to celebrate the spooky season of October with dark, scary, or horror-themed speedruns from the Frame Fatales community. Use !Fright on Twitch chat to learn more about this one-off event. But like I said, hello everybody, welcome to PB Precipice. My name is Adef. As always, I am your host. And joining us today, we have a very spectacular guest, Water with Flavor. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm ready to play some Celeste. I'm
Excellent.
I am trying to hold myself back so hard right now.
From what? From just pressing start?
I just want to play.
Well, we'll just do a few quick questions and then we'll get into it. How long have you been running Celeste?
I started that must have been March, April 2020. So it's already been 2.5 years.
Wow. And is True Ending sort of like your bread and butter category? Or is there a category you prefer, but this is just what you're projecting right now?
So I used to only run any percent for a really long time. And early this year, I started to learn Chapter 9, Farewell, and thought to myself, okay, well, if I know any percent and if I know Chapter 9, True Ending basically combines the two, and I can run that instead.
Awesome. Well, if you're itching and raring to go, I won't stop you. You can feel free to start whenever you'd like. And since it's your timer on screen, you can sort of just like start the run with the timer whenever you'd like. You don't have to give a proper countdown.
Of course. So we're just gonna hop right into it. Celeste does use in-game time. So in menus and in between chapters, the timer will remain paused. We have a lot to get into right off the bat. There's always the standard stuff to talk about. Like, Madeline has 3 main abilities. She can climb walls, she can jump, and after the prologue, she will be able to dash as well. You can combine those in different ways to go varying amounts of fast. For example, if you dash and then jump, you do what's called a dash jump. If you dash up a wall and then jump while still dashing up, you get a very high jump called a wall bounce. And you're gonna see me use those in varying ways to basically breeze through the first chapter right here. Oh. So yeah, there's a lot of tech to get into. For example, dashing down right into the ground turns your dash jump into a hyper dash, which lets you go a lot faster but gives you a lot less height.
Water, could you also quickly explain how True Ending differs from any percent?
Oh yeah, of course. So, True Ending throughout the first 7 chapters is mostly any percent. We will have some routing differences in chapters 3 and 4. Because we have to get 4 of a certain collectible to unlock chapter 8. And the optimal any percent route only gets 2 of those collectibles.
That was very fast.
Yeah.
That was a very fast chapter 1.
Had a couple deaths in there, but that's okay. I wanna get a no reset out of the way as soon as possible. People beat this chapter in under a minute, and it's actually pretty common now. Now we're in chapter 2, Old Site. So each chapter, besides having varying challenging rooms, also has a special mechanic that only that chapter has. So chapter 2 has these dream blocks which you dash into, and then I don't know how to describe it. You zoom through them.
I feel like that's a good explanation.
You just go in the same direction until you exit the dream block. The other mechanic in chapter 2 is the part of you that chases you through this section here. The community refers to her as Battling. Even the Celeste Twitter account refers to her as Battling these days. But yeah, if you've ever played Mario Galaxy, these Battling clones are kind of like the Shadow Marios that just follow you with a 2-second delay. Oh, okay, good backup. Which means, since I'm going fast enough, I will probably never collide with them. This last section in particular can be very tricky as a casual player. Okay, coming up also we have a very movement-intensive section. So here you can also see something called, sometimes I dash down right and jump and I go even faster than you would expect. That's because if you dash down right with a very high speed, and then hit the ground after your dash ends, you get a 1.2 times speed boost. And that's called an ultra dash. You can even chain these in this checkpoint that I just finished. And it's honestly a joy to watch. If you're ever bored, just type Taz Awake or Celeste Taz Awake into YouTube. You will never see anything faster in your life. Coming up into chapter 3, we have the Celestial Resort. This chapter is annoying. I'm sure you're going to be able to tell that there's all of these dust bunnies that move in cycles. Which can be very punishing in some rooms. I used to very much dislike this chapter, because I was not very good with cycles. Over time, I've gotten used to them. But after this checkpoint, we're also going to have to take a different route. So if you know Celeste, you know that there's going to be a section called Huge Mess, where you can choose which parts of the checkpoint you want to do first. And we have to do a very special route to get our first collectible as quickly as possible. Okay. So if you were wondering why the section is called Huge Mess, this is it. There's a lot of clutter hanging around.
This game just has this soundscape that I've never experienced in any other video game, and it's so excellent.
Oh, the sound design is incredible.
Understandably, the thing closest most recently is Tunic, but that's because it's the same team of sound people.
Yeah, huge shout-outs to Power Up Audio. They did an amazing job.
Absolutely.
So, as you just saw, I could have gone right there after hitting that button, or I could have gone left there after hitting that button. But instead, I'm choosing to go backwards through this checkpoint because... Oh dear, hold on, let me get through this room first. Okay, there we go. That's our first collectible right there. You have to go backwards through this checkpoint in order to grab it. And then we save and quit, which is the same as a retry, and gets us up here. We save and quit in particular because it saves a bit of in-game time. There's been some debate over which save and quits are acceptable and which aren't. In particular, one IL of Chapter 7 was submitted that had 5 save and quits or something. That saved time in the individual level, but not actually in full game. So that was basically a whole topic of discussion for a month. As a result, you have a
speedrunning rules discussion, isn't it the best?
Oh, I'm so elated whenever it comes up. It's not at all frustrating. In chapters 4 and 5, you're going to see another technique that also had a lot of discussion around it when it was first discovered. But for now, you might have seen me go to like very close or even through some spikes at some points. That's because you can do what's called a crouch dash or a demo dash, like this one, to go through some spinner hitboxes, basically squeezing through tiny gaps in between those dust bunnies. This is that was a particularly impressive looking example, but they're pretty much all over the place now. Especially nowadays with the 1.4 update, you've had an official crouch dash bind in-game, which we've also already given shoutouts to Power Up Audio. Shoutouts to EXOK Games, because they have been listening to community input basically from day one. And the crouch dash bind is just one of those instances.
Yeah, it's always so cool when a game dev company is willing to listen to the input of not just speedrunners, but also like any dedicated community members that are really enjoying the game to its fullest potential. And I think that's really excellent.
And you can't take that for granted either.
No. It's unfortunately few and far between.
Okay, so Chapter 4's gimmick, Golden Ridge, is going to be wind. There's going to be a wind that will try to push us around. I say try because usually there's ways we can work around that. There's also a lot of clouds spread about the place, which let you perform very high jumps off of them. The clouds can be kind of fuzzy. I'm not gonna lie. We're also gonna have our second routing difference compared to any percent coming up. Oh dear. Which is, normally you would go up right here. Instead, I'm going to the right here first, and completing this little Mario Bros. 3 reference. We can now interact with the background and get up to the second heart.
I felt stupid in my casual playthrough for not being able to figure that out because I've played so much NES. But I stood in that room for like 20 minutes like, it's impossible! You can't get it.
Okay, so you saw me jump that gap? That is a quite difficult strat. I can't believe I actually got that first try.
Nice work.
Yeah, that room is a room that has a lot of different strats that people go for with very huge differences in speed. And coming up is another room which has a very strong looking strat. If I can make it past this room first, give me a second. Okay, watch closely. Okay, so that was second blockless. I figure I should explain. Basically, this is a very tight corner boost that is kind of difficult to input humanly. So as a result, people have resorted to pause buffering it. After every unpause, you have a 5-frame buffer window to buffer any other inputs. You can also frame advance because the pause button it also falls under that buffer window. So, as a result, some previously very exclusive strats have become a lot more accessible. Second blockless included. Okay,
Man, the movement. The schmovement.
I'm doing kind of okay. This was one of the better parts of my PB. Like, my any percent section in this run was actually quite good. Next up, if you're familiar with Celeste speedrunning, you already know what's coming, but we're not actually going to finish this chapter. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go on a different path and grab a cassette tape. That cassette tape unlocks a harder variant of this chapter called the B-side. And it was actually an oversight, but you can still like unlock the next chapter if you complete the B-side. And it just so happens that for chapters 5 and 6, this is faster. So up until here, this is the common 5A route, and now I'm going down the different path.
Something that's like so spectacular about Celeste speedrunning that I think is also true of like Yoshi's Island or Super Mario World, like very tight platforming games, is like, you know, it's cool to understand what is happening and how the things are working, no doubt, and I love learning that, and I love commentary that tells it. But there are also moments where like you recognize that the game speaks for itself in such a unique way. Like the speed strats, I might not know exactly what inputs are happening, but I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's some games that just look so impressive even if you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the second big pause buffer strat right here is coming up. Oh, pause purely. There's no way. I actually failed it. Oh no. Okay. So this is called Bub's drop. What's supposed to happen is I'm supposed to input a small climb jump that makes me fall back down. Then I can retry and wrong warp to the other side of this room. Like so. That's how this was supposed to go. And this is one of the biggest skips in any percent. It saves 25 seconds, which is huge for a Celeste strat. Like, I myself have put hours into 0.2 time saves. And I know it's similar for a lot of other high-level runners. Oh, by the way, do you want to see another demo dash?
I want to see everything.
All right, here you go. Oh, okay, we're gonna have to do... So... This is store demo. This is a strat that even people at world record level don't like doing because it's very, fussy. Like you could see, after landing it, I got a little bit nervous there. And the last mechanic in this chapter is Theo. Okay, I'm gonna have to see how I do this. So Theo is very interesting in that when you grab him while having high speed, that speed gets maintained a lot more. So like you'll see me just slide across the floor really quickly. Oh. Okay, how do I do this? Damn. But it can also result in like some really rough gameplay if something doesn't go according to plan. And that's the third heart. We only need one more in order to unlock Chapter 8. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, so far this run hasn't been great. I'm confident I can make a lot of the time loss back in Chapter 6 right here.
We've got nothing but time, so I'm sure there will be runs you're happier with still to come, or you can turn this one around and it'll be all good.
Okay, so this is Lake Skip. People don't like Lake Skip. It's a very precise, wall bounce that only saves time if you get it first try. Goes even if you get it second, and loses time for every subsequent attempt. It's annoyingly tight, but it saves enough time to where you kind of feel pressured to go for it. Fortunately, coming up, to grab the cassette tape in Chapter 6, there's a much cooler looking strat, if I can pull it off. Okay, gonna have to do the backup cycle. Which is still quite fast, mind you. Okay, this chapter has an infamous reputation. 6B is... This is where runs end usually. Every room here is very long, and that can be quite punishing to make back, or like to back up. The thing is, besides the funny sounding Kevin blocks that you saw in the A side as well, there's also a lot of bumpers. And based on the angle that you hit bumpers, they knock you back. So if you hit a bumper at a slightly wrong angle, that can mess you up a lot. I see a question from chat. Is the first run a no reset? Yes, I'm gonna do a no reset for the first run, just to show the entire category.
Yeah, so for those of you who've never been around for PB Precipice before, the idea behind the show is that this is runners showing off actual PB attempts. But we do love the idea that at least one run throughout the show will be a no reset of some kind, and Water has chosen to do the first run as a no reset. And so we're seeing the full run here no matter what. And then for the rest of the show, we'll be seeing proper attempts and who knows, maybe more completed runs depending on how things go.
Okay, so this falling section is actually quite unique. I don't think there's any checkpoint in the game that's quite like this, where the goal of good movement is like, it feels a lot more like a racing game where you're trying to take very tight lines. Of course, not dying would also help. Another demo coming up right here, by the way. Oh, wait. My brain kind of lagged behind there. I thought the demo was in the room after that, while already doing the demo.
Already happened.
Yeah.
So how much time does doing the B-sides save in this chapter and the previous chapter?
It depends on whether you're playing any percent or a true ending. So, in any percent, chapter 6 saves very little time. Only 20 seconds, and it's a much harder chapter to get right. In chapter 5, the B-side saves closer to half a minute. But it's also an easier chapter to play at a high level. So people make the switch to 5B a lot earlier than they do the switch to 6B. Oh, okay, I'm having a little bit of a death loop here. There we go. The checkpoint that I'm in right now in particular, named Reprieve, is very rough. There's a lot of 15-second runes here. Oh, by the way, you don't actually have to collect those coins. You can just dash through that gap right there. Oh. Okay, I'm not sure if you saw that, but basically the Battlein boss and I collided on the same frame that she shot her laser. So, we both took the hit.
Don't you love interactions like that?
It's quite funny. Unfortunately, in this game, it means that you lose. Oh, yeah, this is one of those 15-second rooms that I was talking about. It's a very long feather gauntlet. There's so much to talk about in Celeste that I haven't even been able to touch upon feathers. So, feathers give you temporary flight. You also have to be able to control them, which is a tough skill to learn, to say the least. Right, there we go. Oh my god, okay, so this 6B went kind of as you would expect if you know Celeste. I was not kidding about this chapter.
Yeah, that looked really hard.
The good thing about Celeste timing is that you can take short breaks in the middle of your runs. So, like, for example, it doesn't matter how long I would spend on this screen. For SRC submissions, of course, we prefer that you don't wait, like, for 20 minutes or something. But, like, a quick sip of water is fine.
Right, and like, you know, the idea that you can rest your hands and everything, I think is really good.
Oh yeah, definitely. This game is terrible for the hands. Like, amazing speed game, super fun to play. Take care of your hands, please.
Stretching and icing, these are good things.
Okay, I've actually been waiting for this moment in the run. This is chapter 7. It's kind of a revisit of every chapter before. It's also my favorite chapter by far. I have spent probably 40% of my playtime here, just learning as much as I can. And as a result, you will see my movement become a lot tighter compared to what you saw in, like, chapter 2. Oh, okay. I've seen some Celeste runners in chat that can tell you that I'm kind of addicted to this chapter.
The music slaps and the movement is cool, I get it.
Yeah, this is also the only, or this used to be the only chapter where you have 2 dashes. Like, unrestricted 2 dashes. We'll get to that in chapter 9. But for now, just enjoy, like, being able to dash a lot more. Having those 2 dashes also unlocks some new tech that otherwise wouldn't be really feasible. Like, you can hyper dash out of dream blocks. It does cost a dash, but if you have 2 dashes, you can just go for it much easier. Whereas in chapter 2, when you only have 1 dash, it's not really viable a lot of the time. And yes, revisiting every chapter does mean that you have to revisit chapter 3. That's okay though. The cycles here feel a lot less punishing than the ones in chapter 3. Like, you can see me move through here as if the dust bunnies weren't even there.
That last room of that segment was such a pain for me casually.
In speedruns, it's mostly solved. You're kind of cycle locked. Runners have actually died there due to having too good movement.
That always sucks.
Like, sorry, I'm just better at the game. What can I say? Some of this, like, packed full of very fun to execute strats. Like that room just now, you were supposed to take the autoscroller block and carry it through the entire room. And I just kind of went along the bottom. That strat is called... Okay, get ready for this one. Auto-scroller skip.
Yes, I love skip names for tricks where it's like, well, we used to do this skip, which was called auto-scroller skip. But then we found a better way, so it's auto-scroller skip.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
There's a trick in Super Metroid called the full halfie, which
I've heard about that.
you do like half of this full skip, so it's the full halfie. And I was running an Uncharted game for a while, and my friend and I that were running it, we found a version of this skip that did half the section, so we called it the full halfie, but then we found the full skip and we called that one the full fully. Which is a dumb name, but it made me smile.
Oh. Wait, that's not the right direction. Okay, there we go. So I have my Twitch chat set up to like mention me or have the same effect as pinging me if someone says the word summit. So as soon as I entered chapter 7, I just saw like my screen light up red.
You weren't lying about being addicted to this chapter.
Oh, okay, that's a pretty rough death. You're also gonna notice Celeste is often pretty forgiving with respawns. Like, most rooms are 10 to 15 seconds long at most. This room just now was a big outlier because it was a 20-second room. Okay, everyone in chat is typing summit now to me. I see what you're doing.
Feels like you kind of brought this upon yourself.
Yeah, that's kind of a me issue. By the way, we made it out of the revisit sections. We're now in the completely unique checkpoint of the summit chapter, which is just like a 30 flag long sprint to the very summit of the mountain. And you can actually see that, like, even now the game is still introducing new challenges. The wind in this section is blowing upwards, so it makes gameplay a lot floatier. Like, you can see even fast falling still looks much slower than before. Oh, come on. You're also noticing, or gonna notice, every single flag acts like as its own respawn checkpoint. Because otherwise, this room would be literally a minute long. And a minute-long room without any checkpoints in the middle is kind of... Surely you wouldn't expect someone to beat that in one go, right? Surely you wouldn't have to play Deathless for a full minute, right?
I have a feeling that this is going somewhere.
It's a foreshadowing. We'll find out in 20-ish minutes. Okay, and flag 1, you mentioned the excellent sound design. The music literally slowly fades out as you go up here. It's an amazing feeling playing for the first time.
Yeah, it's like coming up for air. It's like, oh, I'm here.
Right, so that was the any percent section of the run. A low 33, that's pretty solid for the first run of the day. Usually I would have reset a few times by now and gained a little bit of momentum. Unfortunately, we're playing true ending. The run is not over yet. Chapter 8 takes us inside the mountain instead of to the top of it. The gimmick in this chapter is that your dashes don't refresh when you hit the ground. So a lot of the speed strats here revolve around creative dash usage. Okay, that was... we don't talk about that one. Like, you can see I have to be a lot more careful with where I dash. Oh, come on. Okay, as if that wasn't enough, there's also this fire and ice switching mechanic throughout the whole chapter. It changes the bumpers into spiked bumpers, which just kill you on contact. It changes the ice blocks, which can either crumble upon contact or like propel you forwards. And the fireballs can turn into ice balls, which move a lot more slowly. This chapter also requires a lot more brain activity, which is why you can hear me stumble over my own words a lot more. Yeah, this section is basically a 2-minute long auto-scroller. The first half of the auto-scroller is this very long climb, with the lava constantly trying to catch up to you. Oh, almost got me there. And the second half revolves around this. The community pretty much calls it sandwich lava these days, because the gameplay is sandwiched in between the lava.
I like that name.
But so during fire phases, the lava moves up, and during ice phases, the lava moves down. You constantly have to strike a balance between the two in order to not... Okay, hold on, this isn't working. There we go. Hey. The reason I don't really like this chapter is because backup strats are quite costly in terms of time loss. Like this one, I literally just exit the room because the backup cycle here is way too uncomfortable. There's also this room, which has been the bane of all Red Berries runners, because if you do it correctly, you can get an ultra chain all the way to the heart instantly. If you don't do it correctly, what happened to me will happen. And you just kind of have to slowly fall towards the heart. Actually, one time, one of the greatest Celeste runners of all time, Bubs. He's retired now, but in his early time, he was running all Red Berries. This is the very last room of the game, and he was on, I think it was sub 49 pace for the first ever sub 49. He failed the ultra chain and got a 49 flat.
That's upsetting.
That is quite upsetting. Okay, wait, before we get into chapter 9, I'm gonna have to explain this one a little bit. So I'm going to be inputting the pause button 4 times. On the first unpause, I'm gonna be pressing skip cutscene, or no, I'm gonna be pressing talk to interact with the gravestone here. On the second talk, or on the second pause, I'm going to press the jump button. And that'll cause me to fly up in the air. Like this. I'm not sure how else to explain this. I'm gonna have to wait an arbitrary amount of time and make it up 2 rooms, but you're gonna notice I have 2 dashes right now. There's a dash trigger right in front of me that I will have to bypass, but otherwise would have removed my second dash. And now I get to have 2 dashes for around the first 2/3 of Farewell.
Does that persist even if you die?
Yes. It persists until a dash trigger much later into the level. Oh. It makes a lot of rooms easier. This is not one of them. This is one of them, though. You can just... Normally, you're supposed to carry the second dash here through the entire room, but now I just have 2 dashes. I could just clear the room like that. There's a whole bunch of mechanics that come with Farewell. Like, the first one that you see are these pufferfish. You can either jump onto them, or if you hit them from below, they act like the bumpers from chapter 6. Okay. 1 second. Let me regain my focus here really quick. I was so entranced in talking about the game that I kind of forgot that I was playing the game as well. But yeah, you can see, due to my having 2 dashes, I can bypass a lot of intended solutions for rooms. And so this chapter basically became a whole new speedrun after this trick was discovered. Okay, so coming up we have a huge hub area. However, first I'm gonna skip a long winding path to get to this power box. And second, I'm gonna skip having to get 5 keys and spread throughout this area by using the jellyfish that I took with me here. Have I already talked about what jellyfish can do? I don't think I have.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so remember Theo?
Yeah.
Jellyfish are floatier than Theo, but they have the same mechanics. So you can glide a lot further with them, and you can also gain a lot more height by dashing up into them. And you can see me abuse that a lot right here. This is another instance of like just you enter a jellyfish with high speed and you grab the jellyfish, which allows you to maintain that speed for a lot longer. And I was able to actually skip below the first gate before I died, but we don't talk about that part. Here's another big instance of that. Okay, this room is either a very long auto-scroller, or you can just do this.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a bit anticlimactic, huh? Okay, so you see this heart gate? Normally you would need 15 hearts to get through here. I only have 4 though. So you're just gonna have to go past it before it becomes a problem.
Wow. What?
Yeah, so this is normally the point of the game where wave dashes, or a variant of hyper dashes, are taught to you. The game literally stops and gives you a PowerPoint presentation on speed tech. That PowerPoint presentation is right after the heart gate. Oh wait, I need you to look at this first. I love this trick so much.
This chapter's nuts.
There's a lot going on. I can barely keep up. So that just now was Spinal Clip. The game unloads some objects if they're far enough away from the camera. So with the binocular, I can move the camera all the way to the right of the screen, and then dash through the spikes before they load back in. Where was I? Oh, right, I was talking about the Wave Dash PowerPoint presentation. So you're supposed to only know about Wave Dashes after having gotten 15 hearts and watching that presentation. But if you already know about Wave Dashes, you can just bypass that heart gate. Okay, the end of this room has a very impressive looking strat. I'll see if I can hit it for you. Wow. Gonna take around 20 seconds longer. Okay, here we go. Yes! Yes!
Nice.
So if you've noticed, there's some blocks around this chapter that are a lot floatier. If you bypass them while having a lot of speed, that speed gets maintained, but you also get the push speed from the moon block. So if you chain that correctly, you can do stuff like that, where I just skipped a huge chunk of the next room as well. We're now in determination. I think most farewell runners would say this is either the hardest or second hardest checkpoint for them. This one sucks. There's no way around it. Oh, come on. There's a lot of rooms here that, similar to 6B earlier in the run, are quite long, with very rough strats to get right. And you can get caught in death loops quite easily. This room coming up, I like to refer to as Mario Maker room. I wonder if you...
That feels fair.
You can tell, right?
Play my level.
Backing this one up is also very annoying. Oh. Almost had it there. Oh dear. So, despite true ending being fairly similar to any percent, at least in the first half, this kind of just makes it horrible. Like, this checkpoint can suck all the fun out of your gameplay experience. Okay, I'm gonna focus a little bit for these next few rooms. Because I've gotten caught in death loops here before, and I don't want that to happen. Okay, good. Okay, for this one, I want you to watch closely again. If I can get it right, it's really impressive. Okay, not quite. It's possible to, again, use the momentum from the moon block and maintain that by getting a corner boost. Oh gee, I haven't even talked about corner boosts. There is so much that this game has to offer.
The good news is you'll have more runs today to talk about all the little minutia and captivating speed tech that doesn't get highlighted in most run commentary sessions because we have all this time.
Okay, come on. So you're gonna notice this whole checkpoint is a cycle. And it can be very rough to back up. Because not only is the whole checkpoint a cycle, but it carries over between rooms as well. Okay. I'm almost through. I saw a message from chat, that part of the level feels so intense. Yeah, it's... And you have to remember, in a speedrun setting, you enter this just after determination, which is one of the hardest checkpoints in the game. After that, though, you have this checkpoint right here, reconciliation. This one is pretty fun. You just kind of go right and let yourself get flung by the birds and battling, while making use of the various farewell mechanics. Adef, if you have any questions in particular that are kind of still in the open, now would be a pretty good time.
I'm mesmerized, to be honest with you. I'm finding myself so captivated by the gameplay. I've actually never seen Farewell be played. Because initially I was like, oh, I'll play it eventually, so I won't watch a speedrun, but now it's not gonna happen.
Hey, light plot spoilers on that intro, huh? To the people in chat saying this chapter looks so rough to play, I can still say it's worth it. Like, remember, in a casual setting, your death count doesn't matter. If anything, it shows the amount of times that you've failed doing something and then adjust it. Every death is a learning opportunity in this game.
It's a really nice sentiment. It's a good way to put that.
Like just now, I'm currently... 1 second. That's the backup cycle. There we go. There's a few rooms here in particular that are pretty punishing to die in. Okay, like this one. Give me just a second here to make it past this one. There is a strat here that allows you to go a whole lot faster in the middle section where you just kind of have to wait for the dash blocks to move back. Unfortunately, it's very risky, so I've opted to not go for it for the time being. That's not good.
What is the lore behind this place?
Spoilers. I would, that would get into, it's very related to the plot of the chapter.
Okay.
Oh, come on. There we go. Hey, remember when I talked about how generous and nice the summit checkpoints are?
Oh, is this the room?
Not this one. We're still a couple of rooms away. But, have you heard about the final room of Farewell?
I have not, but I assume it's hard.
It's reasonably difficult gameplay, but, what's funny about it is that it is 1 minute and 30 seconds long with no checkpoints in the middle. And in a game like this that is usually quite forgiving, this is a very big contrast.
I think I kind of love the idea, actually, from a design perspective. Like,
Right,
it's
here
the
we are.
final room of the most difficult challenge.
Yeah, this room kind of puts you in the shoes of a Golden Berry player, which is basically a whole other skill. Oh. It's like a whole other skill in compared to speedrunning. Golden berries are basically you clear the chapter deathless and then you get a golden berry for it. Because time isn't an issue, golden players generally focus on making strats as safe as possible. In here though, I want to argue this is a little bit more stressful though, because not only am I trying to beat this room deathless, I also need to do it reasonably quickly. Like, yeah, I will do some safety strats for relatively safe movement, but I can't just wait half a minute at a certain section because I don't feel like I'm ready for it. Okay. And that's it.
Wow, that looked very, very hard.
That was a bit stressful at the end. That's where time ends for true ending.
Very nice. GG. Let's get some GGs in chat. Excellent first run. Well done. Do you... sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. A sub-hour on the warm-up run is quite solid.
Yeah.
I think I can do a bit better, though.
Of course. Well, we will... I think we're going to take our first break here, if that's all right with you. And then when we come back, we will have more Celeste true ending runs by Water with Flavor. And now that the first run is done, now that the energy is up and the day-to-day D-Rust is done, I'm sure we'll see some more very captivating attempts in just a little bit. So everybody don't go anywhere. We're just going to take a quick break and we will be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the GDQ Hotfix. This is PB Precipice. My name is Adef, and we are joined by Water with Flavor, who just put on an amazing show of Celeste. True ending, but some announcements before we get back into more attempts, more speed runs. If you want to follow what Games Done Quick is up to, please use !links in Twitch chat for all things GDQ. That's Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, you know the drill. Your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support GDQ, both with hotfix and covering AGDQ 2023 costs. So please consider subscribing if you enjoy the daily GDQ content. And if you're watching on YouTube, please go to twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick if you're interested in looking at our live content starting weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern and weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern. And with that, Water with Flavor, take it away. How do we feel about the last run? How do we feel about the next ones? Improvable.
Very improvable.
Well, you got a good amount of time here, so best of luck.
I'm going to hop right back in fact. So now we've got all of the no reset standard marathon commentary out of the way. Now I can get into like the nitty gritty strats and actually talk about some of the things that are really cool about Celeste. In the last run, I didn't even get to touch on corner boosts, which every time you hit a wall, your speed actually gets retained for 4 frames. If you make it past the wall in time, you gain all of your speed back. So every time you see me like jump on a corner and then go past it really quickly, that's a corner boost. I also mentioned before that people have been beating City in under a minute. Or, like, a lot of people have been beating City in under a minute. I have a 57 myself. The world record is, I think, a 52 by now. City has just kind of become this chapter where people go all out with their movement. Where in other chapters you would like frown upon frame perfect strats, in City they've become common.
Has any percent world record or any measurably long category in this game ever been deathless?
There's been a couple runners who have been able to get runs with 0 intentional deaths. I know of a low 28 that doesn't have a single unintentional death. I don't know of world records, though. I think the lowest it's ever been was with TGH when he was somewhere in the 29 range.
I suppose with deaths being so fast, like it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah. Even the current world record still has 5 deaths or so. If the world record holder Isaac is in chat right now, maybe he can confirm or deny. Oh. I need some serious work in this chapter. Other runners are able to comfortably get 1-4x. I'm still very much struggling with getting those kinds of times. I'm a lot closer to between 150 and 2 minutes. This death doesn't help, by the way.
Everybody, if you've enjoyed any of the gameplay you've seen so far on this show, or if you want to see more amazing Celeste speedrunning, please do follow Water at twitch.tv/waterwithflavor. If you're on the YouTube channel, the link is in the description, but I will post the Twitch link in chat periodically throughout the show. highly recommend you follow. If GDQ is one of the partner rollout streams that has the shoutout feature, maybe we can try that. I don't know if a mod is able to do that.
I don't like resetting early game but being 20 seconds behind this early on is not a good start. So I'm really not sure here. Okay, yeah, actually no. I can save 20 seconds on this. We're gonna try this again really quick. What was I wanting to mention? Oh, I saw a question in chat. Is Deathless 100% a thing? There is one person, Rick Fernello. Maybe you recognize that name. He's been the one big Deathless player. And he has actually completed 1 or 2 Deathless 100% speedruns. And is currently going for a Deathless 202 berry speedrun. Which is, you do 100% and then you also get all of the golden berries. It's always quite exciting when he makes it very far into a run.
So he's actually speedrunning. He's not just doing a challenge run.
It's somewhat a mixture. It's closer to a challenge run, but he's still intending to go fast. Okay, this could be a solid city right here. Okay, I kind of jinxed it. Good enough though. Question from chat, what kind of controller do people use for this? Whatever they want. There have been speedruns on a controller, keyboard, Guitar Hero controller, a steering wheel. No, that last one is not a joke. The main ones that people use are controller and keyboard. And both are viable at very long term. I'm biased on this because I play on keyboard, but I think keyboard is gonna have a slight advantage because you just have so many more buttons to work with. There we go. Okay, that's closer to what my early game should look like. Let's see if I can also get a clean awake here. Nice. Oh, that went fairly well. Okay, now going into Resort. I haven't talked about how much getting the extra hearts loses for any percent. In Resort, it's only around 10 seconds. Those 10 seconds can be significant at a top level, but before that, it's not really a deal breaker. Oh. There was a strat in this room where you can go under the first pillar, which I always try to go for. Unfortunately, it's very tight.
Do you have a favorite and least favorite chapter, both casually and for speedrunning?
This is my least favorite chapter. Like, it's not even close.
Is that for speedrunning and casual?
I haven't played the game casually in a long time. I think for casual, I found Farewell works actually. Like, casually, this chapter frustrated me, but Farewell made me want to break my keyboard.
Conversely, what's your favorite chapter for speedrunning?
Summit. That is a non-question.
Duh.
Oh, okay, one sec. Just gonna have to wait a bit here. And I know it's kind of like a common newer player answer to say that Resort is your least favorite chapter. Because the common runner mantra is like, you get used to the cycles over time and then it becomes fun. I'm still waiting for that to happen, so I don't know. On the other hand, I have a lot of positive connections with Summit. It's basically where I got good at the game. And you have this in this game a lot, actually. IL specialists who very often only play one chapter or two chapters.
Do you consider yourself an IL specialist for Summit?
I used to be. I'm kind of rusty on it, so I don't know if I can still call myself Summit specialist. But, you remember how in the previous run I got around a low 9-minute time?
Yeah.
My personal best is under 8 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, if there's any individual level PB that I'm not, like, beating today, it's that one. Okay. That was a little weird. I failed my beginning movement there, and because in these sections, Oshiro, like the hotel owner, constantly chases you. You kinda have to make it up as you go if you mess up somewhere along the way. Oh, that's really bad. Okay, I managed to pull it back somewhat. This resort could have been a lot better without the last room. We're fine though. I have to remember this is the good part of my run.
Right, like you have to take your splits with a grain of salt.
Yeah. I actually got this run just very shortly ago. And it has my third ever sub 30 any percent in it. So that's kind of rough to compare against.
Even with the heart collection.
Yes. My first sub 30 was with the heart collection. I'm very proud of that run. How much time does
that, like how fast could a true ending any percent be?
If the world record got hearts as well, around a 2620 to 2625. It's a whole other caliber of play. Like, by now, I would consider myself pretty solid at the game. World record holders aren't even... They're not even close.
Okay, but that's the strat I assumed was possible in my casual run, and I thought was the intended way, and I tried it for so long.
It's... The fast way of getting the 4A heart is very strange. You have to do, wall bounce at the very peak height of your updash. And then, take off of a corner at the top in order to get enough height. It's a very janky strat. Alright, let's see if I can get second blockless again. Nope. There we go. So second blockless, completely unpaused, it saves around 6 to 6.5 seconds. The way I pause it, I lose around a second extra to that. But that still means that I can get it second try and not really lose any time. And in speedrunning, you constantly have to make, like, decisions like that. Is this strat worth it if I fail it this often? Like, the same thing with, I had a similar thing with Lake Skip in Chapter 6. At some point, the time save just wasn't worth it for me, and I had dropped it for a little while.
Right, now, like if you feel like you can save time elsewhere, you can be like judicious with what you go for.
Yeah, I could just... This sounds like a very, This sounds like a very intelligent type of advice, but you could just not die. Wow.
Five head, huge brain, galaxy take.
I kind of mean it though. I'm still at a point where I have a I don't have the lowest death count in the community, so I can still save a fair amount of time just by executing the strats I already do well and not dying.
Having priorities of like, okay, I can save this 0.2 second time save that is really difficult until I have a cleaner run overall, where it like starts to matter.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure a flawless run... Oh, that was really good. Okay, I'm pretty sure a flawless run with the strats I use would end up being a 27-minute any percent. But I don't consider myself capable of 27 because playing with few deaths is a whole other skill. This run is pretty good so far. Surely I won't fail Bub's drop this time.
Yeah,
that would never happen. Okay, I didn't fail it. This is an improvement.
You love to see it.
So... Oh, I don't even think I've talked about how pause buffering was discovered. So... have you ever heard of the Mario 64 runner Nero?
I have not.
He was a world record holder back in around 2014, I want to say. And he also played Celeste in its first few years. And the last thing he did in the game before disappearing pretty much without a trace was a video that was just titled Celeste Pause Buffer, which showed a primitive version of pause buffering. And so it took almost 8 months until the patch came around that made pause buffering viable on all control methods. And in that time, runs with pause buffering could just not be verified. And there were a couple people that did it. Okay, I'm gonna have to see how I back this up. That was very funny. I don't know how I did that one. Oh yeah, by the way, I did door demo again, twice in a row.
These rooms are... I don't know, there's something about the addition of having to carry an extra thing that feels very impressive to me.
Yeah, it's... You also have to worry about Theo's positioning when you're not holding him. So it can be a pretty big issue. Okay, you don't usually want to see a slower 5B than Ridge. I can make it work though. Maybe. Like, we're already over a minute ahead compared to the previous run. I also saw a couple people in chat raving about the music. Yeah, 5B is one of the better tracks in the game, I want to say. Okay, there's a strat here that I haven't been able to show in the last attempt. Maybe I can do so right here. Nice!
Well done.
Oh, okay. So that was a version of Revo's nonsense, which is what this fast cassette room strat is called. Basically what you do is you do a reverse super on the Kevin block before that, and then an ultra dash. You also get momentum because of the moving Kevin block. And all of that combined lets you have a huge amount of speed going into the cassette room. And as you saw, I was able to skip almost all of it. Oh, that's an interesting death. Oh dear. Okay, the run is falling victim to 6B. This is fairly common, so don't worry about it. As Celeste runners, we kind of get used to 6B killing a good pace. There are runners that have stuck with 6A, even in the categories where you need 4 hearts.
And you said that loses like 20 seconds or something?
Yeah, in categories where you need 4 hearts, it actually, going for 6A actually loses another 20 seconds on top of that. Because you need the extra heart from somewhere, right?
Right.
The fastest one that you can get is in Chapter 2, but that still takes over 15 seconds. Oh, I haven't even talked about how water can become, or how water gets involved in the speedrun sometimes. Like, at the bottom of a lot of these falling section rooms, you saw pools of water, and I kind of just jumped and gained a lot of speed, right? So...
Right.
That was not one jump, that was multiple jumps. I have my 4 jump buttons in total set up so that I can roll across them whenever I need to. Because it's relevant in this checkpoint in particular. And that's what I mean when I say, like, keyboard will have a slight advantage at the top level. Because these extra jump buttons, I pretty much only use them here, and it saves me a second at most. But it is an advantage. Okay, let's see if I can redeem myself from last run. That's one heart room down. And that's 2. Nice!
Well done, well done.
That was a good ending. Bad start to the chapter, but I managed to bring it back. So I'm kind of expecting to lose a little bit of time here, because if you look at my splits, my summit chapter in my PB was 8 minutes 16. That's a pretty good time for a full game setting.
It's your favorite chapter, though. I'd expect you to be good at it.
All right, I will try my best. That's a funny chat message. Died less times than my brother did in prologue. It's a matter of practice though, right? Like, your brother had just started the game. I have 2,000 hours. There's a bit of a difference there. I do think in my casual playthrough, I did die once or twice on the prologue bridge.
That's part of what it means to play the game.
Yeah, exactly. This stream hyper in particular has been giving me issues. Oh, okay. Let's see if I can make it through here as cleanly as last time. Okay, so I saw like a sliver of safe ground there. I thought I could just like barely make it back. Okay, so I don't know how to say this, but I'm not saving time in Summit. Like, we often have what we call like pace checkers, where after certain rooms, we look at the clock and then we know what kind of pace we're on. That room in 1500 meters was one of those pace checkers, and I am around 20 seconds behind my PB.
That's fine.
Yeah, this is pretty much fine. I have some time left to save. Oh, I don't think I've gone in depth on the buffer system yet, actually. There's so much in this game, oh man. So, the rule of thumb for Celeste is every input is bufferable. You have, when inputting a dash, you can actually input your next dash up to 5 frames early. And you know, that's just like a general leniency thing, but it does help a lot with inputting some things.
That's like really nice, actually, especially with a game that's so like requires so much precision at a high level. I feel like a buffer system is a super welcome addition.
Oh, it's amazing. If this game didn't have buffers, it would not have become nearly as popular. Okay, my second Summit pace checker, this can be around an 8:30 if I play well. Big if there, but you can dream. Someone in chat suggesting Celeste on an N64 controller? I feel like that's been done before. Or maybe I'm thinking of a GameCube controller, because I do know that some people actually play on GameCube controllers.
This is never not impressive.
Pretty good 3,000 meter pace. 3,000 meter is one of those checkpoints that have become like a little mini IL that people also compete in. I know the fastest that anyone has ever done this checkpoint is in 2 minutes and 19 seconds. that run is mind-blowing. That was a 230 though. That's pretty good.
Well done.
Yeah, so a little bit of a contrast from the previous run. You can see just by cutting down on the amount of mistakes that I make, I already got a low 30 instead of a low 33.
How do you feel about the latter half of your PB?
There's time saves. Farewell is pretty punishing, so I'm not expecting to save too much time there, but I should be able to do better than a 425 core.
Right on, well, good luck.
My best core level was a 351, so it really depends though on how quickly my flow is broken here. Yeah, like that. There's some rooms where making a mistake makes it very rough to back up. Like right here, if you died in this room the same way I just did, unless you know the method that all red berries runners use to make it up there, you're kind of screwed. And in the previous room as well where I died, backups are key. Oh dear. Actually, can I change my answer to the least favorite chapter question?
Of course.
Yeah, I like playing through this just now, I kind of realized that I don't really like core all that much. Okay. I was never worried. I was not worried. No. That was completely safe and fine. Okay, this is a slightly better core pace than in my PB though. Okay, and now I'm hitting the ultra chain too. Oh, yes!
Nice.
That's how this is supposed to go. I did tell you there was some time save in the latter half.
Yeah, no, you're not lying. Best of luck with farewell.
Thank you, I'm gonna need it. So first off, we do dash trigger skip again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I actually count the amount of times that the dialogue ticker ticks up and down in order to time my cutscene skip. I know that there is a method that people like progress the dialogue as quickly as possible and then wait for a certain point in the dialogue to skip the cutscene. Oh. This room is kind of rough to back up. There's not really any one super good way to make it through here quickly. Generally, I should be fine though. Come on. Okay. So I'm gonna go through power source skip again. With enough practice, this strat isn't really as much of an issue anymore. I was waiting for the moment that I'd fail it, now that I kind of said that actually the strat is not much of an issue.
The classic instant karma in speedrunning.
Yeah, it happens so often. But that actually went off without a hitch. Okay, so the instant karma was just a little bit delayed. Oh. Oh. I just got really nervous all of a sudden.
Nah, you got this. You'll be alright.
Yeah, I think I'll be fine.
Chat, let's send our support and our blessings. Put some nice emotes in the chat room here.
That's a new mistake. Okay. Actually, never mind. I've decided I'm simply gonna win.
That's the galaxy brain mentality fix. Let's go.
It's like people say, like, just don't die or just play better.
But sometimes, like, that
But
is
applied-
legitimate.
Yeah, applied literally.
Like, sometimes you're just in the middle of something kind of stressful and you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it.
That's not gonna work. Alright, Chad, I'll give you a good pace marker too. If I make it to the rhythm block section in under 10 minutes, this run is winnable. Okay, I didn't get the strat this time, but don't need it. Don't need it, don't want it, don't care. Okay, so remember how last time I death looped here? This is how that room was supposed to go.
That looks so nice.
Yeah, it looks so much cleaner. Oh, that's not the dash pattern. There is no way. Alright, chat, we're on pace.
GLA chat. Okay. Oh, we're really on pace now. This is literally what I needed. No! That sucks. Apologies for not talking too much anymore, by the way. No. Concentrate on the game. You're good.
Fine. Oh, okay. I am gonna concentrate on the game. It's actually fine that I hit battle in there. I wouldn't have had a dash, and would that have messed me up? I don't remember. Everything's kind of blurring together right now. Okay. I did not mean to land there. It's over.
Oh, so close.
Oh!
It's so close, dude. Wow, that screen is so brutal. Oh my god.
That was terrifying.
GG, wow, oh my god. The fact that you were able to keep up pace for that long even was really, really impressive. Chat room, let's show some love. Please follow Water on Twitch. Water, are you alright if we take our last break?
Of course.
Okay, gamers, stick around. We're going to take a quick break, and there will be more Celeste speedrunning right afterwards. We'll head into our final segment of the show. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back in just a few moments. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. My name is Adef, and this is PB Precipice. We just saw amazing runs at True Ending in Celeste by Water with Flavor. Please do check out their Twitch channel. A few quick announcements before we get into our final segment here. Your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick, both with Hotfix and with upcoming AGDQ 2023 costs, so please consider subscribing if you enjoy the daily GDQ content. And of course, gamers, the gaming does not end with PB Precipice today. There is more hotfix after this show. So after this final segment here, stay tuned for It's Dangerous to Go Alone, which will be showcasing Overcooked 2. The show's all about co-op speedruns hosted by our very own Frozen Flygon. And tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, we will have Awfully Silly, followed by That's Never Happened Before. So everybody be sure to stick around for all the hotfix that you can see in the coming days. Water with Flavor, what are we about to see?
All right, so the category from before was like an hour long. We don't really have that much time in the day left, so we're gonna close out with just the last part from this run. So as you can see, I'm starting right from Farewell, and this is going to be more of an individual level run.
Yes, this is like the salty run back on Farewell after it robbed us of that beautiful PB just a moment ago. We're going to see some revenge attempts here at a Farewell IL, which is kind of, I mean, given the length of Farewell, this is kind of like its own, like, fairly lengthy speedrun in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that's right. The good thing about this is, it's good that I'm failing dash trigger skip now and not in the full game setting. Because here is where it doesn't matter. You can literally just spam attempts at it. DTS stands for dash trigger skip, in case I haven't said it yet.
So So I assume there are farewell speedruns without DTS?
Oh, that was a too early cutscene skip. Yeah, so DTS wasn't always... DTS is actually a fairly recent discovery. It was only like fully discovered in October last year, I want to say. 8, 9, 10, 11. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so before that, you could only run this chapter without DTS. It's now become its separate category. There's not that many people left that run it. These days, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to learn no DTS gameplay. Because in a full game setting, this skip literally saves up to a minute.
Yeah, for anybody in chat who's just coming in, DTS is dash trigger skip. It's a clever skip at the beginning of this chapter that allows you to retain your double dash for a good chunk of the chapter when you're not supposed to have it. How do you feel about your farewell PB?
It's gotten older and older over time.
Things do tend to do that.
Yeah, but like, you would expect to beat your PB a couple times across the months. And with Farewell, that just kind of never happened. I still have the same 1639. So I'm really wanting to beat this run. Oh, come on. I'm still a little shaken up from the PB pace from earlier.
That's very fair.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure how much viewers realize how stressful playing this can be. Especially when you have that thought in your head, like, oh my god, I've never played this well before. Oh my god, I'm gonna fail this. Oh, please don't make me miss this strat. Please, please, please. And then you miss it and lose the run. Like, there's a lot of intrusive thoughts that can get into your head on pace. Okay,
Oh,
this is a reset. Yeah, so in this individual level setting, I can be a lot more trigger happy with the restart chapter button. 9, 10, 11. Because it doesn't take half an hour to get back to the point where I was. Like, this was just a couple minutes lost, and I'm completely fine with giving up that time to maybe get a slightly better early game. Okay. I'm seeing people in chat saying, even casually, this is stressful. Yeah, maybe I'm just so disillusioned with how this game plays casually that I don't even remember my own experience anymore. All right. That was a much better singular than last time. So, if you don't beat your PB for a long while, you start to get very familiar with where the time saves in your splits are. I can tell you right off the bat that I'm going to be a fair amount ahead out of singular, and then I'm going to gradually lose that time save across the next 4 checkpoints. There we go. And I can tell you right now, when you know exactly how good a pace is, or like where you are compared to PB without looking at live split, you need to beat your PB.
Yeah, that's Please. When you're in too deep. You're like, oh, I got a 3:14 exiting this room. That means I'm 2.5 seconds ahead. And you're like, all right, cool.
Yeah. Of course, it's a different thing if you just like know the area of the game so well that you know exactly how much time you lose. That's happened to me with Summit.
Sure.
I can say exactly how good a certain pace is. Just by virtue of having spent several hundreds of hours.
Sure.
In the same 8 minutes of gameplay. Okay, a couple deaths here and there. This run is still going pretty well, though. So, Adif, do you have any questions left about Celeste speedrunning?
Where can people get started if they're interested in learning how to speedrun Celeste? Because there have been a fair few people in the chat today throughout the runs that have just been like, oh my god, this looks so cool, I really want to try this, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I've been meaning to talk about that. Apologies for not reading a lot of the chat messages, by the way. This game is very demanding on the focus.
I think everybody understands that your attention is currently divided. That's okay.
So, there's 3 main resources I would want to point to. The first one is Frozen's speedrunning guide that was actually made on a hotfix. It showcases some basic strats that you can use to get started quickly without having to like get really deep into learning. If you're looking to learn some more advanced strats right off the bat, there's Programmatic's Any Percent tutorial. It's gotten quite old by now, but it still shows some solid stuff. The third, maybe you don't prefer like a video guide, maybe you just want to learn on your own. In that case, on speedrun.com, you can find the Celeste community resources sheet, where we have a whole host of resources available for you. Maybe you don't want to use those at all. You can just play the game. Like, there's...
Yeah, you could definitely... There is a universe where you can get a... Probably not a top time, but a semi-competitive time just from, like, playing the game and watching some runs and, you know, trying it out. You get in the 30s, the high 30s, maybe. Maybe even lower. I don't know. Maybe you're a god gamer who just absorbs info very quickly.
Yeah, like, whenever I've dabbled in other speed games, I've kind of just gone in without any expectations, and I've kind of just learned on my own. And
Sure.
it was an incredible amount of fun, actually. I've had a very brief stint in Neon White speedrunning. And I just learned very basic strats. I got a low 50-minute time, and I moved on. And I enjoyed every second of it, even though I wasn't going for, like, the best time that I possibly could.
Sure. Sometimes that's all it takes, though, is just, like, go for a time that you're going to be happy with until you're satisfied, and then move on. You don't have to be in world record contention for any games, let alone every game.
Okay, wait. How do I back this up? Okay, not like this. So you've seen me enter this room with a lot of speed sometimes, which is how you skip pretty much all of the first half. I kind of had to do a couple of backups there. Oh dear. Okay. I'm actually gonna hold my tongue for a couple seconds.
Sure, yeah, no worries.
Okay, there we go. That wasn't so bad. But yeah, there's some rooms where your entry strat determines a lot of what you can do in the room. So if you die at some point during the strat, then you have to do something completely different. Which is why people often say that at some point you have to invest some time into backups.
Right.
Because you're not always going to play flawlessly. I haven't played flawlessly, not even close to it. But the reason I haven't fallen apart completely is because I also put some time into learning what to do when you mess up. Okay, well, now the run is just kind of over.
Given the length of time remaining in the show, I might say we just throw this one as a no reset and continue through to the end, if that's all right with you.
Of course. I can close it up. Maybe get a life split gold.
Let's go. That's a PB in some sense.
Okay, that does mean I'm gonna go for as many IL strats as I can remember.
Oh, yes. Awesome.
Okay, so about that. About that stubbornness gold that could have happened. This is probably one of the worst rooms to back up. Because you rarely expect to die here.
This section has big VVVVVV energy. Like the music, the colors, the blocks.
You know what? I actually haven't played VVVVV.
Oh my god, you must. You must.
Am I missing out?
Yes, you could beat it in like 2 sittings probably. It's tremendous. It's also a great speed game.
Okay, this is a very funny room too. Okay, never mind. I got the back. I almost got the backup first try. Okay, let's go for that reconciliation gold. The time to beat is 3:44 for this checkpoint.
VVV is a really good indie platformer from the early 2010s. It's by Terry Kavanagh, who also did Super Hexagon, if you're familiar with that.
Oh! Okay, I know that one.
Yeah, that game came out after VVV.
Okay, I'm gonna do one more tech explanation today. Back boosting. So every time you throw Theo or a jelly, it gives you a tiny amount of speed in the opposite direction. So if I throw the jelly behind me, I get a tiny amount of speed forward.
That's just physics.
Yeah, you can use it in very funny ways, because if you still have a dash and then you back boost, you can then downright and get what's called a back boost ultra. It's used a lot in custom maps. Oh, by the way, there's custom maps in Celeste.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of that. They look crazy.
Yeah, the peak difficulty of modded maps is a lot higher up. I think the gameplay that you see in Farewell is considered the middle difficulty level of 5. But Grandmaster gameplay is a whole different realm.
Have you done or dabbled in much of that?
There was this huge modded map pack called the Spring Collab, which was released in September. Go figure. But it had around 80 maps made by various different people, ranging in all difficulties. It's one of the best Celeste mods of all time. If you're gonna play one mod, I would tell you this would be it. But so what I've done is I've played that roughly up until advanced, and then I got too frustrated because I wasn't as good at the game yet. Oh, that's an interesting mistake. I swore I counted to 16. Yeah, so the TLDR is there's roughly 3 ways you can like achieve mastery in this game. 1 is you speedrun. 2 is you play golden berries, so everything deathless. And 3 is you play really hard modded maps. The second and the third overlap a lot more, but I still think they're like separate skills. Alright. I'm gonna go for some of the funny strats that I was talking about earlier. Let's see if I can make them work. Wow. We're just gonna try again on that one. Just pretend you didn't see. That... Oh dear. This room is a mental block today.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens to everyone. When the world record holder of this category, Heiken, was still doing attempts for 45, he lost a good few runs here. The same thing with farewell IL attempts, actually. Hey, we still have a couple minutes extra left, right?
Oh, you'll be fine.
Okay, well in that case, I could show off something extra.
Well, I meant as in you don't have to stop this run, but after this we will probably have to finish out.
Yeah, so at the power box, after hitting the power box here, I could go left instead and grab the moonberry. It would take around 2 extra minutes.
That's probably fine.
Alright, let's go. So, as you have broken the power, you now have to backtrack through the entire room, or like what remains of the room. And the really dangerous part here is there are no respawn points until close to the very end. So if I die here, it's back to the very beginning of the room again. Okay, I made it. I'm safe.
Well done.
So the Moonberry climb is basically the final test of jelly movement. You'll see what I mean when I get there. You have to repeatedly throw the jelly against the wall and then grab it again. and just gain a lot of height that way. In fact, you can do what's called jelly evaders, where you let go of the jelly while holding down, and that lets you just let go of the jelly without throwing it. So if you don't have a wall next to you, you can gain height that way. I wasn't worried. Yeah, a lot of people in chat saying that this room is pretty cursed. It is. So, Farewell was already some of the hardest gameplay that you can find in Celeste. I think this is the hardest that Farewell has to offer. Alright, everyone in chat spam wow.
Wow. Is that it? Is that the run? Did you do it?
That is the end of Farewell. If you grab the Moonberry.
Excellent. Gamers, please congratulate and put your GGs in chat. What an excellent showing from Water with Flavor. We love to see it. Please do follow them on Twitch, twitch.tv/waterwithflavor. Really appreciate you joining us today, Water. Do you have any final thoughts before I close things out here?
I'm still hung up about that run earlier.
It just means you'll have to get it on your own stream soon.
Yeah, I think I'll just have to go for sub 50 now. Nice.
Yeah, heck yeah. Excellent. Well, everybody, thank you so much for watching PB Precipice today. It's always a delight to see all of your wonderful faces. We have some quick announcements before we close things out here. Remember that this is not the end of Hotfix for today. There is more gaming coming up on the GDQ channel right after a quick break after this show. Stay tuned for It's Dangerous to Go Alone with Overcooked 2. As well as gamers, if you're watching on YouTube, please go to twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick if you're interested in looking at our live content starting weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern and weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern. And of course, AGDQ, Awesome Games Done Quick. 2023 online will be January 8th to the 15th. It's coming up pretty fast. Head to GamesDoneQuick.com for more info. Game submissions are closed. Tweet at GamesDoneQuick on Twitter and let us know what you're hoping to see on the schedule. Everyone, thank you so much for watching, as always, and do stick around for more Hotfix coming up right after this. As far as Challenger approaching, this coming week, Challenger approaching will be Cosmic. That's my other Hotfix show. Cosmic will be showing off the Mari Hour challenge, so everybody get hyped for that. Stick around. There is Overcooked 2 on It's Dangerous to Go Alone coming up right now.